There's certainly a lot to look forward to after E3, especially in the Bethesda camp and especially for the Fallout series. Following Todd Howard's presentation, we were stunned by some of what we saw. In a good way. Mostly. We are thrilled to give you our pick of things we now know to be confirmed for Fallout 76. Remember to subscribe to Stabbed Panda Games for weekly Let's Plays and gaming news. The first thing we're really excited by is the scale of Fallout 76. Its map is going to be 4 times larger than Fallout 4's, which itself was bigger than both Fallout 3 and New Vegas. This map is going to be divided into 6 unique areas, each with its own distinct aesthetic and challenges. Now, Bethesda are good at many things, but the thing they really excel at is narrative-driven gameplay. With that in mind, we were all surprised when it emerged that Fallout 76 could be an online game, and most of us jumped to the conclusion that it would be something like an MMORPG. Given Elder Scrolls Online's mixed reception, I think it's fair to say we weren't enamoured with the idea. However, following Todd Howard's speech, it seems that multiplayer might not ruin Fallout 76. As it transpires, there's not going to be hundreds of people cohabiting your world, maybe just a vault's worth. So it's not going to feel like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online. It should feel more like a Fallout game. There are naturally still some questions surrounding how this will work exactly, like, can NPCs be killed? Could you wait around for your friend to turn in a quest and kill the quest giver? Boy, I hope so. Another question we have is how exactly settlement building will work. Many players were unimpressed by this mechanic in Fallout 4, stating that they wanted a Fallout game, not a Minecraft game. But given that rebuilding seems to be a central theme for Fallout 76, it's not really a surprise that settlement building will be making a return, as confirmed by Todd Howard. What is a surprise is the following. We'll be able to build anywhere on the map with the inclusion of the CAMP, which presumably takes the place of the workshop from Fallout 4. It's the same idea, just movable. Settlements can also be completely destroyed by roaming mobs of super mutants or bat dragons, so maybe don't get too attached. We also learned that players will have access to nuclear weapons, which will, presumably, annihilate your settlements immediately. I want to know what happens if you try to nuke a quest hub. I really hope that'll be a thing. Most of us had worked out the following, given the clues in the trailers, but it's good to have it confirmed by Mr. Todd Howard. Fallout 76 will be a prequel to all other Fallout titles, as it's set only 25 years after the bombs were dropped. This means we can expect slightly less grey and aged terrain compared to Fallout 3, but perhaps slightly more scorched earth than Fallout 4. It also means we can expect new varieties of enemies. Now, the promo footage shows ghouls, which I think it's fair to expect, but also super mutants, which lore-wise were created in the same year as Vault 76 opened, 2102, meaning we'd be some of the first humans to encounter them. Most vaults won't have opened either, so it's possible that all the humans you encounter will be your former Vault 76 cohabitants. There's going to be a wide variety of West Virginia legends to take down as well. Are we going to be fighting Mothman? I really hope we get to fight Mothman. Also, how about Chinese robots? I think that's Chinese text anyway. That's very cool, as we don't actually get much indication of the Great War aside from the bombs and that one Fallout 3 DLC. The UI looks very similar to Fallout 4, as do many of the building assets. However, it looks like the engine has been tweaked to allow more impressive rendering. So while some of the scenery might look the same, it'll hopefully look better, if that makes sense. In terms of the brand new multiplayer UI, the assets look like the Vault-Tec cartoons, especially reminiscent of Fallout Shelter icons and characters, which I guess makes sense. We now know that death does not mean an end to the game, and that all progress will continue regardless. Perhaps on respawn, the Overseer will charge you with continuing the work of your last character. Who knows? The last piece of info we have for you today is the release date. We're looking at November 14th of this year, which is a Wednesday. Looks like I'll be booking a few days off of work then. Why midweek? I don't understand it. Why are we having a midweek release? Term time as well. That makes no sense. Also, we know that if you pre-order the game, you may be selected as a beta tester. Aside from all the non-disclosure agreements, that would be very cool. That's all from me, Vault Dwellers. I have been Liam for Stabbed Panda Games.